wanted to do a song, and this is a song that I wrote with a friend of mine, Will Owen, who I saw today, and we were working on a song. But this is one of the first ones that we wrote, so I'll play it and then maybe talk a little bit about it. I don't know how to explain the way I feel when I feel the rain. Why the seasons come and where they go. But your smile is sweet, that's all I need to know. Now when the wind is from the west, I fall asleep and I take my rest. What will I do when the north winds blow? Well, if I feel you near, that's all I need to know. Don't know why the stars shine in the sky. Could it be they've come to say goodbye? Well, they shine for me and that's all I need to know. Now some folks claim to understand the whole wide world in a grain of sand. And who am I to say it isn't so? Is your love real? That's all I need to know. Is your love real? That's all I need to know. All right, that's all I need to know by me and Gwyl Owen. So Gwyl was one of the first people that I co-wrote songs with, and I was very uncomfortable with it. I'd always written by myself pretty much. Get comfortable here. Uh, but Gwyl, it was right off, it was very comfortable. We, very good friends now. Uh, and my previous experience in co-writing was pretty much, I always felt that it was like playing strip poker and losing. It felt like I'd be sitting in a room with somebody and I would be becoming progressively more naked. And they weren't. I had an experience where I actually was co-writing with someone and they left the room, I think, just to use the bathroom, and I jumped out the window and ran away. It was that uncomfortable. But with Will, it was good. And I think one of the first ones was a song that I'd written a whole bunch to, and I just didn't know how to end it. And he came, he helped me end it, and that was one thing. But this song, that's all I need to know, was that was a different experience. He had the idea. I had that little lick, that dun 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 dun. but the idea came from, he was very close to his grandmother. They used to spend a lot of time up in Canada, uh, the cabin up there that they have. And one of the things she said was, it was some little rhyme, when the winds are from the west, I close my eyes and take my rest. So we wanted to get that in the song. And basically, I felt like when you co-write, one person is the driver and the other person is kind of the navigator. And that I was going to navigate. And usually when that happens, I don't get into the song as much as the other person. And when it's vice versa, when I'm driving, when it's kind of, I initiate the idea, the other person may not get into it as much as I do. But on this one, I just got into this. I love this song. And I like the idea of trying to get into the head of someone, this old woman that I had never met, that all I was doing was getting the information from Gwyll. And so it was just such a simple tune, and you know, things just kind of flowed. And I was really glad about the last verse of, some folks claim to understand the whole wide world in a grain of sand, which is, there's some line in a William Blake poem about seeing the entire universe in a grain of sand, which sounds like utter nonsense, but then I've just thought it would be nice to say, well, what do I know? You know, was your love real? That's all I need to know. So there you go. There's a song I wrote with Gwyll. I'll end up doing some more songs that Gwyll and I have written. I know on the new CD that's coming out, I think in February, I do a song that I wrote with Gwyll called Train Wreck. And Gwyll is going to put out a CD sometime coming up soon, I think, and he's going to do it too. So my version will be, of course, slightly better. Okay. Oh, and I want to tell you, that's all I need to know. That's on this CD that I did called Through a Glass Darkly. It was the last one I did for Rounder before they just irritated me so completely that I left in a huff. Perhaps stupidly, but there you go. Through a Glass Darkly. It's really, there's a lot of grim songs. Oh, there's a cool thing on it. I had this friend of mine, it's still a friend of mine, A.C. Bushnell. It's like an old-time fiddle player, you know, I mean, just that stuff. Charlie Poole songs, I love those things, and A.C. is as good as I've ever heard doing it. He lives in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. And I owed him a big favor, and plus I like the way he played. And these songs that I had that I wanted to put on the CD, a lot of them lent themselves to old-time fiddle playing. In the meantime, I had been playing with a woman, Deanie Richardson, who was a fabulous bluegrass fiddle player, and so of course wanted to use her in some songs. So in recording, I do the basic track, and then I brought in AC, and he did his stuff, and then, you know, brought in Deanie, and she did her thing. And some of the time, I didn't know which fiddle was going to work the best, so they both play on it, and I listened to one version with AC and one version with Deanie, and then when we were mixing it and getting all together to this is Rob Earls and I just on a whim, I said, oh, they both, you know, we did a take with Deanie and we did a take with AC. Play them both at the same time and see what happens. And it was just this noise. It was, I thought, extremely cool. I don't think either one of them did, because it seemed like I had, you know, sort of stepped on their feet. But, you know, life is tough. You know, so if you get a chance, listen to Through a Glass Darkly. It's a bunch of songs on it, and they're all, almost without exception, one of the exceptions being That's All I Need to Know, extremely grim and dark. So for the maximum effect, why don't you listen to it with your eyes closed.